Hey, welcome back, Bulldogs. Today we have some League of Legends games streaming for you today. I'm going to be your host, Questionable, and I'm with my other co-host.
Hello, I am Sizzling Pizza. I am very excited to be here. I love my co-host here.
Thank you.
Um, he's just such a nice guy, and I'm so excited for these games tonight. I'm so excited to be casting these games with him. I am
Right.
so excited to be here,
It's been so
watching.
long. It's been
It
a
has,
league
but
drought, and now, we're going to kick
yep,
off the season today.
yeah, very exciting times. I'm excited to see how our team performs today. I have big hopes.
Right. We got
So hopefully we see some good gameplay tonight.
we
Hopefully,
got
we
a
see some
new
long
roster,
matches.
new
Yep.
lineup. Can't to see they've been practicing. Can't wait to see how the practice has been turning out. The team chemistry working. So maybe we get to see some new picks, some new actions. I don't know. Don't know what to
I,
expect at this point, honestly.
I'm always waiting for that Bard top.
Yeah, I
We
was
talked
waiting for
about
the
this
bar
last
top.
season. I really don't think it's ever gonna happen, but
Yeah.
I'll always vouch for that.
Hey, looking at both teams' top laners, right? We got two wild cards in the top. You don't know what's going to be picked up. So, hey, at this game,
I,
it might be the best shot of this season, all right?
honestly, I'll tell you, we do know there's probably not gonna be a Kled in the top lane, though. I will say that, but
Unfortunately, we're still working on getting that down, but slowly but surely, I think that's going to come to fruition.
yeah, I am excited. The players, I did get some sneak peeks at some games from the current roster, and they are looking very good. Uh, the team shows a lot of promise this year, and hopefully we can perform pretty well in this season. So
Right,
I am excited for that.
got a lot of heavy hitters. Even got some new ones. We got Moist Orchestrum's getting moved up to the A team, so now he's playing with the big boys. We have, I believe, the return of Thompson in the top lane, so he's gonna be putting in some work. Hopefully, I'm not sure if he's
I
gonna be
think,
playing his one trick, but hey,
uh, I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but I believe we do have the return of Reiwa this year.
we
We know he
do.
took a he took a season break, but he's back playing ADC.
He's back.
Hopefully, we'll see some spicy things out of him.
He's
And
renewed, rejuvenated, and ready
yeah,
for action.
took a break. He didn't want to put out too much content, so he took a little break,
Right.
pursuing other things. But he's back. He's ready to make a montage for us. You know, carry everybody. I'm really excited for these games.
That's all you can ask for sometimes in life, all right? And he's a man known to deliver. So,
Yeah,
hopefully we could see him on, I don't know, the Akali or something, and he gets to do
yeah,
some flashy play. I'm ready for it.
yeah. Definitely be paying attention to the mid lane, and the bot lane as well. I expect some aggressive plays out of our bot lane this year.
Right.
So
Also, because of the fact that this is apparently a best of one, so, they only get one shot to, show their worth and show that they're worth. Well, I don't know if it's a matter of if you win, you go up a bracket, or if you lose, you go down a bracket, and, like, winners just stay in the current bracket they are in. But, hey, so. Like, there is no warm up game one, but Ferris is, historically a game one team. So this
yeah,
is good news for us as far as I'm going to just say that.
it's definitely. I feel um we might see a lot more passive gameplay since it's only a one, best of one. We are used to seeing the best of threes, but
Right.
uh with that the lack of game shield, you got to be a lot more careful in these games. So might be a little slower, but maybe we'll see some exciting plays coming out. Maybe a couple drag steals, maybe some really cool fights. I'm just really excited to see what we do.
Right. Speaking of drag steals, we do have, Lem in the jungle. So he's known for just pulling off the clutch plays when you really need him to do something. So, it wouldn't be surprising to see, say, a Dragon or a Herald or, something akin to that getting stolen. Or, oh, it looks like the draft has already been started. Okay.
Okay, so I believe we are going to be moving into the draft
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna be doing pro draft. Looks like so far Ferris has banned Talia and Karthus. Yeah, I know I believe it's their top laner, or not the top laner, their mid laner is a Talia one trick. Almost 1,000 games, and like most of them are on Talia. And Ferris also decides to throw on a Hecarim ban, and Norco has decided to ban Shyvana, which I'm not sure our jungler plays that. Senna, which I know Cheese is a big fan of, and Kled, which, hey, that's Thompson's bread and butter right there.
I do know I do know our jungler has been picking that Shyvana a lot lately, and that is still a really strong pick. So probably a good ban there.
Right,
About
okay.
what I would expect, I'd say. But there's still a lot of open stuff, so I'm excited to see what Ferris decides to do. Locking in that Amumu
Right.
very
I would
quickly.
imagine that's for Jonesy in the support lane. He's a big fan of the Amumu support. And Norco responds with the Callista and Nautilus. I'm not sure if they know that's an Amumu support or if they expect it to be an Amumu jungle. But Callista and Nautilus, not a bad bot lane. They do have a lot of synergy together.
Yeah, it is a really strong bot lane. Hopefully, Amumu can get the CC lock going in there, just giving, if this is a misfortune pick, enough time to just absolutely one-shot somebody. If you get QR queued by an Amumu, you're locked down for around 4 seconds of gameplay, and that's more than enough time for bullet time to just 100 to 0 your health bar, and that would be a free kill. So maybe we'll see something like that going on in this game.
Right, in the bot lane, it is looking like a Mumu like needs to hit the Kalista, but with Kalista and her passive just hopping around a ton, could prove easier said than done. But hey, you never know what's gonna happen. And Ferris decides to lock in the Kha'Zix in the jungle. Okay, so Lem is on one of his the big two trick champions, that and the Lee Sin. And Norco responds with the Sejuani, an extremely tanky jungler. So far they're just
That
very
could
tanky.
also be flex in the top lane. You never
That could,
know where that pick is going to go.
right? You could see something like the AP Sejuani top, or they could just do the tank Sejuani top if they really wanted to. And we see
And
a Darius ban also on the top lane. Not
I,
sure if
I would
Thompson
assume
plays
they're just
that,
going to be
but yeah.
double banning out the top lane in this
Right.
situation for Norco. I think that's just their best decision here.
That's very understandable. You see team full of like plats and goals, and then one Masters player. You're like, hey, maybe we should just, just for precaution's sake, just start banning that. Or if you really want to give your top laner the best chance, maybe not caring so much about what their top plays, but just removing your top laner's counter champions if he already has a top laner in mind. And we also
Yeah.
see the Aatrox coming out, which Thompson has been playing a decent amount of. So we could see something like, I don't know, if the top laner does play, say, Riven or something, though. Like he does have a lot of Riven's banned out,
Looks like
and
we're going to be banning 4 top laners in this second ban phase.
right, top lane may just be the lane to watch in this game from the looks of things.
If no one can play their champ, it just makes the games way more fun, in
Right,
my opinion.
it,
So
it always makes things a lot more interesting. It's like what's more interesting to watch? Iron players or like challenger players. Like watch challenger players is cool, but watching iron players make plays is also
yeah,
extremely fun.
definitely.
And we see
It
the
looks like
Poppy come out.
Poppy pick is probably going to be going into the jungle. Is would be what I would assume is going to happen. So that would be a Sejuani top, Poppy jungle. So Poppy jungle definitely a strong pick. Picked a lot right now in pro play. Probably phase rush, maybe predator. Both are very strong. It's just a very strong jungler all around. Really also does counter Kha'Zix relatively hard, making sure you can't get that E, can't get those resets
Right.
with the jump block.
And so we see Ferris lock in the set in the top lane, an extremely good champion, especially when you see three very tanky members on Norco's team. He ults pretty much any one of them, throws them into the team. It's going to be doing huge AoE damage, so that's a pretty smart pick. And are we going to get the Vex in the mid lane? Wouldn't entirely surprise me, but would be a little surprising. Yep, we get
Vex
the
is a
blind pick
very good
Vex.
pick into their team. Definitely against Callista, you get I believe it's the W passive off of every single dash. So every time Callista auto attacks and dashes, Vex's passive gives her additional damage, magic damage on her next auto attack, and she'll be able to get that on every single Callista auto attack.
I did not know that. If that interaction is true, that's going to be mortifying to see. And they respond with the Swain. I'm not too sure about that into Vex, especially like willingly. But I mean, hey, we have just four people on Norco's team that are just extremely hard to kill, but not a lot of damage. I would expect that to be an AP Sejuani, honestly, even though they do have the Swain. Having like four frontline members kind of not the best move, even if you have a Callista. If you're gonna do a protected carry comp, can't imagine Callista's the carry you want to protect there, honestly.
I would say this is like a set's best dream, four
Right.
tank champions. It doesn't really matter which one you go for the alt slam down because anyway, it's going to be dealing a ton of damage to whoever it lands near.
Right. And
And then,
in opposition, we do see Ferris doesn't really have a proper front line. The best they have is a set, and set can be hard to kill, but he's not exactly like what you look for in like an ideal tank. So we see just a lot of damage from Ferris' side and just a lot of like tankiness on Norco's side. So it really is just a matter of like, can Ferris just deal damage like more than uh uh Norco can just like ward it off, I guess you could say.
yeah, I think you'll definitely see a lot of flanks from the Kazakhs this game. And in order for Ferris to win this game, they're going to need to be playing a lot more front to back, getting the Amumu, getting the set in that front line, and making sure they're protecting those two carries in the back will be definitely priority number one on Ferris's mind. The question is, can Norco find a way to get through, get that Sejuani ult down on a carry, and get a pick before they even start the fight?
Right, definitely. Now that we have the hindsight, we can see the 2020. For Lem, it would be better to have the Lee Sin because now, like realistically, unless he gets like a super big lead early on, the only person he can kill is the Callista. But seeing how she has an entire like team of bodyguards around her, gonna be very hard to even like find a second where she's isolated. So like, uh, Lem is going to have a very hard time picking off effectively the only person on the team that he'll be able to kill.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a competition of which ADC can get caught out the least. You know,
Definitely.
uh, that Vex pick also has to be a little careful, but does have that fear built into the kit and does have that ult to go in on the back line when needed, and does do a lot of burst and overtime DPS. So it is. I think that's the Vex pick is honestly very strong in this game. I'm excited to see what happens in the mid lane. I
Definitely.
also, yeah,
Go ahead.
definitely got to be keeping an eye on the bot lane with these picks.
Right. So, I did mention earlier that Ferris doesn't have like proper front line and they do have a lot of damage, but they do still have a lot of reliable CC on their team. Amumu with his two Qs and his R. Set has two forms of CC in his kit. I'm pretty sure all of Vex's abilities can have CC once she has her passive active or however that works. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they could just like stall the enemy team out from even being able to fight if they just really wanted to, and just
The
have
question is,
Misfortune use her bullet
yeah,
time and just hit everything on the map.
yeah. The problem is you have to be careful of that Sejuani, the Nautilus. They both have R's that can just instantly lock down and instantly pick off any member of Ferris's side. So they have to be very careful when deciding when to engage and when they need to be backing off.
Right, especially they have a lot of AOE CC on Narcos side too. You have the Nautilus R, you have the Sejuani R. Swain, he gets in the center of the fight. He just Zanyas. He's going to be healing everything, and Ferris isn't going to be able to just last forever inside of that. So hey, they get like the right setup. They hide in a bush that's unwarded, and Ferris just doesn't know. It could be game over from there, honestly.
Yeah, it really takes just one fight from either of these teams. It really is who can position better going into a team fight. It's not,
Right.
who is stronger before the fight.
I don't like encouraging the idea that this game may be decided by like 15 or 20 minutes in, but like honestly, it's looking like that could be the case. 15, 20 minutes in, if one team has say 3K gold lead or more, that might just be the team who wins this game.
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful getting those item completions early. Get earlier, it would just could just be detrimental to the other team.
Right, if Ferris just gets so much damage that Norcos tankiness doesn't matter, then it's going to be whatever. Or if Norco just gets too tanky for Ferris to even be able to deal damage, could be game right there. And looks like the game's about to start. And while we wait for the game to start, we're going to send you to a commercial break. We will see you back in 3 minutes. Thank you.
I'm Sam Mazzola, and I'm the team leader for Ferris State Call of Duty. 48 and 29 on this young man.
Oh,
And he's just locking down the point. Oh my God, Karaka.
I'm graduating with an ISI degree, which is Information Security and Intelligence. My education here at Ferris was amazing. I came from Wayne State previously and Alma College before then, and it was wasn't the right fit for those two previous schools. But when I came to Ferris, I started out with another degree entirely, and then eventually transferred into what I'm doing now, and I've loved it ever since. And I highly recommend anyone who's looking into any sort of cybersecurity, definitely check out Ferris State.
30
Karaka in a really advantageous spot here. If he can get this guy in Rito, that's huge. Can he get the guy coming from patio?
Yes,
huge.
he can.
Big kills from Karaka. What a leader.
Can he get this one kill coming in right now?
Going to
Yes,
the
he
last
can.
kills.
That's a
This
big
is
kill.
huge.
One more charge alley. Oh my God, Karaka.
I do feel like I've gained a lot from being part of the esports team at Ferris. I definitely wish I would have known earlier about the program. I came in last fall after I saw an email sent out, and it's definitely something that I would recommend anybody who's interested in playing even competitively or even casually, just to make some new friends and have a good time.
Oh, he's going for the
Oh,
assassination.
no.
He does it to him. Oh, Karaka.
Coming from a background where I've played competitively for orgs and other things like that for about 10 years now, it's definitely been supplemented it, and I feel like a lot of the people that haven't done that definitely have a lot to learn from Ferris Esports. Even if you don't plan on pursuing something in the future, it's definitely an experience that I think if you play games and are interested in competitively at all, it's something you definitely should look into. My favorite moment from this past year here was probably our game versus Davenport. We ended up losing, and we still took it down between 2 rounds, and it was just a good showing how when we play together, good things can happen.
I mean, I believe. I'm a Karaka believer.
Karaka is gonna read this. He sees him. He sees him. You're just playing ring around Rosie right now. Hey, Karaka with a 1v4. Oh my God, Karaka. Oh my God.
What's your favorite memory from being in the Ferris Esports?
I can't say it on the interview.
My wins on the game, on the map. Let's go.
Oh, no, Karakas, no.
There's a spot for everybody in every type of game. Speaking from my experience for Call of Duty, we have the more competitive A team who goes out to try to win every day, and then we have the academy team who definitely just comes out to have fun and be part of the team. So there's definitely a place for everybody, and just take a look. There's always something for you.
Like the game is just seconds away from starting. We're loading in. Time for action.
Yeah, I'm super excited again to see this game. I literally cannot wait. I hate the fact that I have to wait for this 3-minute spectator delay. I'm just so excited to get in and start watching this game.
Any second now, I'm sure Riot will just get rid of wards, and then once wards are out of the game, there's no need for the 3-minute delay, You only need like a 15-20 second delay.
Why even need a delay at all? Just let everyone see what's going on.
Yeah, you know what? That's the best idea I've heard all day. Why don't we do that? I'm gonna contact my dad. He's actually the CEO of Riot. Yeah, and we'll see if we can get that under control.
Also, tell him don't forget to tell him about the bar top. We can't be forgetting that.
I'll also tell him to buff bar top.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's a big fan of that. He'll be down for it.
So so quickly, some important things to be taking note of. There is an ignite in the top lane, no flash on the Sejuani, but that is standard in the Sejuani top. There is first strike on the Kha'Zix, so definitely a good rune on him, definitely standard, but still.
That's something he's a big fan of doing. Oh, do we see an invade in the top lane from Ferris? All right. We get early action. Only Sejuani, the no flash Sejuani. She's gonna have to start her. Is it her Q that's her dash? If she doesn't see
yes,
this
it
early
is.
enough.
They are 5-pointing, so they are going to hopefully play this right. It seems Sejuani did.
Sejuani didn't know she left the bush, and she's going back in.
Going back in.
It's a wrap, and the early kill on the Kha'Zix. Not what you want to see if you're Norco. And we see Norco's gonna push in, get some early wars on Ferris's red buff. It looks like.
Yeah, and Ferris is resetting and going down there, but they are split up when they're getting down there. They do get the vision. Thankfully, I think for Ferris State, Norco decided to leave, but that is going to be an early first blood and an early 400 and probably 20 gold on the Kha'Zix from the first strike. So that you're getting that long sword and the
They spot out
control
one of
ward.
the wards. I doubt they'll see the other one.
And with that XP advantage, I don't know if bot lane will get level 2 off first wave, but they will be close since they got assist XP as well as ward XP.
They
I don't think
might
they will.
get one minion closer, but I don't believe they get that much XP from a first wave assist anymore.
Smiting the red buff is a little interesting of a start.
Right. Yeah. Maybe she's like scared of the Kazakhs invading, so she wanted to just hurry up, smite that, and then immediately go down to bot lane. And we see some action
Looks like
going down
bot
level 1
is
in the
already
bot lane.
fighting.
Oh,
Amumu hits
Jones
a
goes
big
in.
hook though.
He has aftershocks.
And they're gonna keep
He's not
going in.
AP. They keep
It's
going.
gonna hit again. They
Flash
ignite
auto,
exhaust going
and
out.
the
That's another
Kalista
kill.
is down. I don't think they're gonna get the Nautilus here. They might as well just let it. Oh, he misses his Q.
Nautilus miss
And they just let him get away. The no sums on the Kalista or the MF. All that's left is Jonesy's flash and both of Nautilus's sums. And Rewa is just pressing the Swain in the mid lane. A lot of action, only 2.5 minutes in. We already see just a lot of stuff going down already. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah, those are the early kills we were talking about. Definitely paying attention to the mid and bot there. A really good set of 2 Qs from the Amumu, stunning the Misfortune both times, or the Kalista, sorry, both times, and there was just nothing that Kalista could do to get out of that situation.
Right, looking at the minimap, looks like Kazakhs has just invaded and stole Poppy's Raptors under her nose. She has no idea there were no wards over there. I was looking for a gank, but Swain is too safe. He's pretty much under his tower. The wave's pushing into him. That's not going to happen. He's just going to sit and wait for the topside Scuttlecraft to spawn. He's got nothing better to do. Raw pushes in lane in. He's either going to help or maybe reset. He does have the TP, and it's also a pretty good time for him to reset if he were to desire to.
Should have gotten the reset in, but it doesn't look like he's going to.
Alright, no problem. But we do see that the bot lane reset. You know, MF picked up a longsword. Mumu picked up the boots. Both of them picked up a pink ward. And we see the Nautilus roaming. We're going to see something in mid lane. Poppy is there. Sees the ward out. Kazakh sees them. It's going to be a 2v3, but they don't see the Nautilus. Oh, she doesn't get the stun off, but
Poppy
she does
is
hit
going in though. Kazakhs can't jump yet. Finally can jump.
He
He's
gets
going to
out.
flash
Oh,
jump,
the
and he-
not using the flash ignite gets the kill. And now Ferris's bot lane is
Ferris's
here.
bot
Not
lane
has
is
no
here.
sums. Who are they going to give the kill to? They give it to whoever they want. Cody gets the kill, and Poppy just gets to walk away scot-free. But Poppy did also blow her flash during that at some point. You see most
That's going
sums
to be a
in
1
the
for
game
1.
gone. Overall, not a bad trade. You know, like we said, this game is a game that's looking like it could be decided 15 minutes. So you really just want to get as many kills as you can early on as possible. If you die for it, not exactly the worst thing, especially since Kazakhs didn't have a bounty or anything. So he gets back and gets a 4-minute serrated dirt. That's terrifying because nobody on the team has any armor yet to actually protect themselves from this.
Yeah, it looks like top's just going to be, you know, I don't think Sejuani's going to overextend for the rest of this laning phase. I think it's just going to be, you know, a CS lane in the top side. But Poppy is up there. Maybe looks for something here, but I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah,
able
it's
to.
looking like she's recalling. Thompson doing a really good job at managing the wave right now. Oh, she stopped her recall. Could we see something? I'm pretty sure that's warded, so they should see her. They don't. She's going to start the recall again. Mumu tries to go for a Q, hits a minion instead. And Poppy decides to go in. Thompson does have both of his sums. Sejuani doesn't have flash, so he looks like he's going to fight this out. Sejuani's got the stun. Poppy is a melee
I don't know
champion,
how much he's
so
going to be able
oh,
do about
fully
this.
loaded W. Oh, he's under ignite. Can he get the kill? He gets that 1-for-1 in the 1v2. That's about as good as you can hope for. He does blow the flash, but you know, for a trade, Sejuani also does blow the ignite. So not exactly the worst trade in the world. And
That is by far the best thing he could have done.
right. Also, Sejuani got the kill. Personally, I don't know how you feel about this. I would rather have the kill on Sejuani over the Poppy. I just feel like she's more of a threat.
Poppy does have electrocute though. The last time I saw Poppy was phase rush, but it has been a little bit.
Right.
So
Electrocute is interesting to say the least. I can't help but wonder if she just say had the wrong runes from last game, or if she meant to have Predator or something. But you know, maybe this is just a move. You know, just go full tank, but Poppy just has enough base damage in her kit where Electrocute is still just the most viable option for her.
I wouldn't be surprised that that was the reasoning for taking phase rush in the first place. Is actually
Mumu lands the hook.
stop here.
Gets a good amount of damage on Nautilus. Nautilus does have Ignite backup, and Jones still has all of his abilities. We do see exhaust from both ADCs up. Kha'Zix goes in, gets stunned. He's in the enemy jungle right now, and this is exactly why you have the electrocute. But Ferris's bot lane arrives first. No flash on the Poppy. That is going to be a dead jungler. Jones looking to go in more. Nautilus doesn't hit his hook. He hits the wall. They're going in. Vex with the RN wasn't close enough. No. And now this could be the downfall of Ferris. Kha'Zix hops in, gets exhausted, doesn't get the kill on the Nautilus. But now Cody arrives. He gets the trade kill. Flash to the wall. He gets the fear off. That's a dead Kalista. Kalista did get a triple because she's back in the game. But now we see Vex also has 3 kills. So, hey, man, just a lot of stuff going on so early on in this game.
That was a little close for comfort, I'd say, for Ferris. That could have ended absolutely miserably, but getting 2 kills on this Vex is going to be incredibly strong in this game. This Kalista's going to have to be paying very close attention.
Vex already had the lost chapter. She didn't, looks like Poppy didn't get the blue buff before she started fighting there. If that was a blue buff Vex that we'd seen, then Swain really would just like be hopeless in this lane. And Vex is recalling while the lane's in a good state. Swain is also recalling. He doesn't have TP, neither does Vex, but Vex's wave is just in a better state than his. So not sure if recalling is the best move for him, but it may be the only move he has. He has to recall, get his own lost chapter, and Vex gets her finished Everfrost and tier 1 boots. So Vex is just incredibly powerful right now. 8 minutes of completed item.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing a gold difference right now in the mid lane. Swain just finished his lost chapter, and you know, Vex already completing the full item. I would say this is time where Vex starts roaming and looking to apply her lead in other lanes.
Looking like looks like they do know that the Poppy's in the bush, or they don't. Okay, we see the ult come out from Sejuani's. Set can't get his W off in time. Gets bursted down. Looks like they were trying to work on the Rift Herald, but they decided it was too dangerous for that instead.
He is mid here.
They don't kill this Vex, I don't believe. Yeah, he just gets out of there. We do see the wasted R from Poppy. Not sure not sure what that was going to accomplish. Swain didn't have his E, but I mean, after you pop his R, I guess you just want to do what you can. Oh, Vex is back there. He's still trying to get this.
Still there.
Swain flash, but he has the Vex R on him if he wanted to take this. Looks like no one's gonna die. All right. Good attempt from the Kha'Zix, attempting to counter.
I think Mumu's going to be looking to go in here. Yeah, he
lands
does.
the R.
He hits.
Nautilus does have flash, but no need. Kalista has R now. Could just pull, involuntarily pull the Nautilus out of there. So 2 Rs for 1. That is looking like a worthwhile trade. Jonesy went in a bit early. He almost had his Ignite up. Personally, it's just one of those things where you might want to just wait until the Ignite is up before, committing everything in a fight like that.
Yeah, probably want to wait to try to go on the Kalista every time there, especially if Kalista doesn't have minions to dash to, but was the right idea, and it looks like they're going to go back in. There's no more Kalista ult to save this Nautilus, and he's just
Nautilus had flash right there. Kind of a misplay, honestly. He could have just flashed behind his minions, and Mumu can't land his Q2, and he knows that Mumu doesn't have R because he literally just used it, so a bit of a misplay from the Nautilus there, honestly. And we do see the Poppy in the bot lane, though. Not sure if I would want to gank this if I were the Poppy, though, TBH. Yeah, it looks like Ferris doesn't really care. They're just going to reset anyway. They don't see a real reason to be down here. Just got a kill. MF is huge right now, 3, 1, and 4, and up almost 25 gold on the Kalista right now. It's just absolutely enormous. Finishes her Eclipse.
Let me clarify that for you real quick. 25 CS, not
25 CS. That's my thought, yeah.
But yeah, it's still an insane lead. We do have the finished item now on Misfortune as well. I mean, both of the carries on Ferris' team right now are exactly in the position they want to be in.
Okay, looks like we could see a little 3v3 action in the red side jungle. Cheese has to flash. He was called out by the Nautilus. Cheese is not going to be in this fight. Nah tries to go for the hook on the Kha'Zix, doesn't hit. Decides to all MF. Not sure if that was the right target, but it looks like it's working out regardless. Cheese is caught out. He doesn't have flash. He just used the Looks like not flash. Auto attacks gets the root off, and Cheese goes down. Down goes the MF. Swain is still just draining everyone on the team. Looks like that's going to be a little 1-for-0 trade. Norco decides to tie up the game 8, and they still down 1K gold though, but not the biggest deal as of right now. Not an insurmountable lead. And looks like they'll decide to take the dragon with the lead they just got. Kha'Zix doesn't have the flash, but he does have the E. If he wanted to try, it would be rather risky, but you know, you never know what to expect from this guy. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to give it up.
That was definitely an overextension on Ferris' side.
Right.
I think the second the Misfortune has to flash away from the team, you need to be leaving. And actually, it looks like Top's going in for a fight, and Ignite going down.
And the turnaround. Sparkles wins the fight even after being ignited and on 1 HP. Oh my gosh, I am extremely surprised by that. But
the set base healing and the just ginormous shield just saving him there.
Truly a built different champion, if I do say so. And he
honestly, you could just say it's a built different player.
That's it. And we see the Rift Herald coming out in mid lane, and Poppy is there. Everfrost comes out. Rewa has no mana right now. He has to blow his flash. Jonesy lands the hook in, and he just doesn't want to fight that. Ferris is not in a position where they want to, you know, fight over, you know, getting damage on his turret. The Herald already hit. They got what they came for. They're just gonna leave and just take what they got.
Yeah, we do see an eclipse on Kha'Zix as well. I cannot tell you if that's exactly the item you're supposed to be building on that champion in this patch, but it is still interesting nonetheless. Gets that armor penetration from the passive.
Normally, I can imagine that's not the best thing to build, but you know, looking at the tankiness of Norcos' team, you know, he's not going to be really realistically bursting anyone down. So I can imagine that's just so he could just stay in the fight as long as possible, kind of thing. Nautilus Hex flashes over the wall, and he might be caught out unless Callista can R him. Can she not get in range? Oh, she did. Okay, she does pull away the Nautilus. That is one less utility spell and one less form of hard CC that they get, but Nautilus does live to see another day, though, I guess.
We do see a finished Black Cleaver on the set in the top lane. I would figure he would be building Bork first, but I mean, I'm not the set player. Maybe it's stronger to rush than Blade.
I mean, you know, if you do have, like, you know, a full tank team, I guess just getting that as early as possible, not the worst idea. But we do see Cody up here. He lands the ult going in on the Sejuani, and Poppy decides she wants to fight it out too. Will they be able to get Poppy too? He lands the second R. They're going to continue pushing this lead. Oh, Thompson gets, oh, he does not get out. The Swain W snipes him from across the map, and now Swain is here. Cody's very low on mana. Swain flashes, attempts to get to the CC. Doesn't work out exactly as planned. Can he get out of here? It looks like he might be able to, unless the Swain explosion kills. Oh, it doesn't need to. Swain lands that E, but now he does not have the flash. He doesn't have any means of getting out the immobile champ, and he's gone. The shutdown goes on the Amumu as opposed to the Kha'Zix. Not the best thing in the world, but that Swain is a good Swain. Cheese, you know, now that it's known that Amumu's in the top side of the map, he's afraid of being dove. Completely understandable for him to ult the wave right there and just recall, just get out of lane as soon as possible, because I mean, hey, it's better to lose a couple of minions than it is to lose your life and some minions.
That was definitely another one of those just back and forth fights. People just keep showing up out of nowhere, it seems, and they just keep killing each other one champion at a time.
Right, you know, like Amumu with the cross map play can't entirely say I was ready for the Amumu to be in the top lane while, you know, your ADC is still getting pushed in, but looks like it was all for the best. Thompson still wants the action with this Sejuani. He has not had enough and just decides to keep bullying her. All right, we see Cody just, he has his rotation figured out, just hard shove the lane and then look for a roam across the map, and he's going to help out. It looks like this could be a good setup for a dive top lane if they wanted to do so, but it looks like that's not what the plan is. We see the Amumu roaming yet again back on the top half of the map. Rift Herald is going to be spawning soon. I can imagine that's what he's looking for. Maybe setting out some early vision and try to get this Herald. They do see the Poppy now on the boss side of the map, so this is a free Herald.
drag is coming up though. It is 16 minutes, and there's only one Drake to each team. Gotta be wondering when are the teams gonna start trying to prioritize these dragons on spawn. I assume Norco is gonna decide they want to start doing that soon.
Cody's a little caught out. He doesn't have the flash. Looks like this is going to be a dead Vex unless the squad comes up. The Kazakhs and Yamumu is here. The Vex goes down, but it's a 2-for-1 trade nonetheless. Still worth at the end of the day. The Vex does give a shutdown though. Who did the Vex give a shutdown to? He gave it to Swain, 500 gold shutdown, and looks like the Nautilus is going to be caught out again. He has to blow his flash, using his flash pretty much on cooldown, strictly to get away. And
these,
did they get?
These are some of the most extended fights we have seen in a long time. They just seem to have no end.
Sejuani BM ulting? Not sure what the purpose of that was. Must have been a misclick. I can imagine. Maybe that's why Sejuani just hit level 11 and tried to level it up. I'm not sure what that was. But it hit nonetheless, I guess. I mean, hey, free damage on the board. Something. We see the Poppy on the top half of the map. And
they do seem to know he's there, though. But Ferris might be a little caught out in the mid lane here. There is 4 players to 2.
And Vex is down yet again. Oh my gosh, he gets pushed out of the NECC, but it looks like that's not going to be enough to save him.
It's not going to matter. I don't know. It seems Vex is building Shadow Flame right now, and I don't know if that is the right call. I would figure Zanya's at this point is going to be just
right. Vex is getting rather hard camped. I could imagine that Shadow Flame would be the best option, and looks like we get some more action. Kazakhs getting the double kill in the mid lane. What I think happened was Poppy was trying to take Raptors and then started getting pressed by Kazakhs, and then just, you know, everything just started going crazy right there. And now seeing as, okay, looks like bot and mid and Ferris' side, or maybe on both teams, are going to be swapping now since Ferris did get first tower in the mid lane, and Riptail did get 2 charges off. It did hit the tier 2 mid tower.
This is a very, in my opinion, unusual game. It seems like there are fights going on at all points on all sides of the map, and it is. I mean, I'm loving watching this game, but it is very interesting.
Right, you know, keeping you on your toes. You gotta, you know, stay very active and like just try to guess what's gonna happen next, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you know, we're watching a top dive go on, and then we pan over to the mid lane. You can see a 3v3 going on there, and you're like, wait, I thought there were 4 players in the top lane.
Just non-stop action, you know. You can, which is really incredible because, I mean, you wouldn't guess that Norco has the damage that they want to, you know, continue pressing this. And it looks like Kazakh is going to go in. Nautilus misses the hook, lands it on the wall. He doesn't have R. Kallista's going to have to use her R defensively again. And Amumu hits his Q on the Kallista, lands the 2-man ultimate. Is that going to be a dead Nautilus? Dead Nautilus? Can we get a dead Kallista too? A dead Kallista, double kill on the Kazakhs. Poppy's isolated, but they're just going to let her walk away. Swain's down here now, going to just give up the Mumu for that. Say, hey, we got what we came here for. You can have the support. We don't really care all too much.
So much just to unpack from that fight. I want to mention, I don't know if this was ever talked about, the Sejuani, or the Swain teleported to the bot tower when it was less than 400 HP.
That was a rather confident move. I didn't notice that. That is a very confident move from any player with a TP, you know.
You know, the Vex getting ulted out of there after missing the ult, and then still being able to get a Q off right before getting launched from the Poppy. It's just, it's so much. There's so much going on.
Yeah, too much action, not enough time to say words. This is becoming very hard to commentate, but it looks like they're going to give the blue buff over to the Vex, which is utterly terrifying if you're Norco. Just having Vex being able to freeze spam ability, that was really their only like window to fight the Vex, when either she had no mana or just waiting on the cooldowns. The blue buff solves both of those issues, and now since Vex is just so monstrously strong right now, I mean,
I think we are going to be resetting the scoreboard here. I don't think it has been updated in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, okay.
So there we go. We apologize for that
Right, I was
technical
confused.
issue.
I could tell the Kazakhs had the Soreldas, but I was wondering why it wasn't popping. Okay.
We apologize for that mistake, but we got it fixed now. So these are showing the live and updating scores. Nautilus
caught out. He blows his
There's-
flash.
yes.
Callista doesn't have the R to save him this time. Goes over to the MF. Vex lands the ult. And looks, are they going to be going after Sejuani? Nope. Looks like they're just going to leave Set to just block off the Sejuani. Oh,
These guys are
Mumu
so
landed his
overextended
Q.
right now.
And the two-man, the
Huge
Zanius
bullet
comes
time.
out from the MF. The Zanius comes out from the Swain. He's just trying his best to drain tank. It looks like it's not going to be enough. Vex is too strong. Blows his flash and misses it. He fails. Sejuani has to use her R defensively. Oh my gosh, Set gets into the back line. Poppy has to blow her flash to escape. It's just hectic all around. I don't even know when Set used his ultimate, but it happened sometime during the fight. Just so much
I
stuff
believe
going
Set
on.
ulted onto the Set ulted the Sejuani onto the Poppy, which did do a lot of damage, and I believe Sejuani or Poppy did flash from that situation to live.
Okay, Nautilus caught out yet again. That they're not gonna press that one. The two-man root. Okay, just gonna do a lot of damage and continue bullying out the Poppy. They're fighting. They're in a 2v3 right now. Vex is just doing so much damage right now, though. But he lands the R, takes it, gets in there, but he dies for it. Callista gets the kill on the Vex, and Sejuani gets the kill on the Amumu. But it looks like Ferris gets the Baron Nashor regardless. But, you know, not having the Baron on the Amumu, not the biggest deal, but not having it on the Vex is, you know, not what you want to see. You know, you really do want the Vex to have the Baron. But having it on 3 players is still better than having it on none at the end of the day, I guess.
Right now, I don't know if... Oh, Kha'Zix has to be careful here. But
oh, he walked into the Swain E, but they lose
he's
vision
still
of him.
fine for
Kha'Zix
now, but
ultimate.
Norco has to be
He's-
careful. They don't have a jungler here.
Right. Ferris is kind of pressing this very hard for being down 2 players right now. I'm not sure if they want to take this, but it looks like they do. Kha'Zix flashes in. Makes the Callista have to blow her flash. Sejuani has to get out of there. And Sesh is going to bully them off, and Ferris just gets a free drag. That is something. Poppy looking to steal? Nah, Poppy's going to get in. She doesn't exactly have the mobility to get in there and get out safely, like, you know, certain other junglers do. You know, Vex just pressing this Nautilus, not doing a ton of damage, but, you know, just doing whatever she wants at this point. And now Ferris is on sole point with Baron minions.
What's Norco's position to come back in this game? You know, what is, like, I feel like they might have to just be cheesing something. They might just have to be sitting in a bush looking for a Sejuani ult on the carry or something. Because at this point, these fights are just not going their way.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to just find the Vex or the MF just caught out, and then just, you know, blow all your CC on them and just take what you get in can and just hope you don't lose anything else across the map. Honestly, that's like the best thing you can hope for. And looks like Norco is could be looking for a flank. They do have 3 people behind Ferris right now, but Ferris does see this out.
There. They're gonna get a kill mid. They're just running through the mid lane right now.
Swain beating up the not Swain, the Set beating up the Swain, and they're gonna tower dive the Swain. He does not have the stopwatch. His Zania's wasn't fully completed yet. Mumu goes in, looks for something, doesn't go all in. Nautilus lands the hook on the MF. Not what you want to see there. Triple kill on the Vex. That could be game right there. Poppy blows her ult, trying to get the MF and the Vex out of here. Not going to end the situation. Set ults in, gets a lot of damage. MF ults, that's going to be game right there. MF with a double kill. Ace, and it looks like Ferris is going to clean this up. GG's going out in chat. Ferris wins this game 1-0, and that's a best of 1. Ferris comes out on top, showing that they are still a game 1 team, and that's all that matters.
That was such a dominant performance in the mid to late game there from Ferris. They had a couple mistakes. They were still ahead early, but they had a couple mistakes, but they cleaned up their act really fast, and they pulled a really great mid game off.
Absolutely, just, you know, purely chaotic game, just all around non-stop fights from minute 1 all the way till minute 25. This was a game to behold, if I do say so.
Yeah, the ults coming out of Ferris this game were amazing. Some of the bullet times out of Cheese this game were just beautiful.
Spot
The
on.
Amumu support, the hooks were just, it was so well played from Ferris this game.
It was a sight to see.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. You know, saying how excited I was to see this team perform, because these picks they locked in, they were looking very good today.
Definitely. Well, looking back at the game, it was kind of clear to see that Forco was kind of not Forco, Norco was kind of playing catch up with this game. They did have to use a lot of their flashes and ultimate abilities defensively because they were just getting pressed so hard by Ferris. Just Ferris being just as proactive as they were, they weren't exactly ready for that kind of play style. That's might be something they want to learn and like play against and just understand more in the future. That way they don't have this happen to them again.
Yeah, definitely needing to learn to play these fights better together, play more tightly packed is definitely going to be something they want to be trying out. But again, all around, just it was. I think both teams played very well, but Ferris just clearly, I think, the dominant team in this game.
Right. I think Ferris
it seemed from
understood
level
their
one.
win cons a little
Yeah.
bit better, and they execute on those win cons. Whereas Norco was kind of playing as if it were like flex queue and just trying to outkill Ferris, and it just didn't work out exactly as planned. And once that happened, they weren't entirely sure what to do.
It definitely seemed like they were playing catch up
Right.
at the final 10 minutes of this game, and they were just not able to get back into this game. But it is still, and it is a best of one, so that was GG to Norco. It was a very good game. It was very well played for both teams.
Right. I do wish the best of luck for them. I do see a lot of potential with that team. That they do have some good talent on the roster, I can tell. And if we do play them again later on in the year or in the semester or whatever comes, I mean, round 2 will definitely be a very interesting fight to see.
Yeah, just so excited to see the rest of the games this semester from Ferris. Such a dominant start, I think, in this game 1. I hope to see more of that continuing into the next couple of games here. Hopefully, maybe making it to, I believe there's a playoffs at the end of the semester, so maybe making it to that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be the most optimal goal.
So, do you have any other things, anything you want to add about that game?
I think I've said just about everything there is to say about this game.
Yeah, want to thank everyone for coming out to watch. Again, GG's to Norco. It was a very good game. I enjoyed casting it. And I want to remind you guys, make sure you check out the socials. We do have a Twitter at Ferris Esports. Make sure you're followed to the Twitch account. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube. And thank you guys again for coming to watch.
Thank you for coming to the stream. You enjoy the rest of your day. We're signing out.
I'm Sam Mazzola, and I'm the team leader for Ferris State Call of Duty.
48 and 29 on this young man, and he's just locking down the point. Oh my God, Karaka!
I'm graduating with an ISI degree, which is Information Security and Intelligence. My education here at Ferris was amazing. I came from Wayne State previously and Alma College before then, and it was the right fit for those 2 previous schools. But when I came to Ferris, I started out with another degree entirely, and then eventually transferred into what I'm doing now, and I've loved it ever since. And I highly recommend anyone who's looking into any sort of cybersecurity, definitely check out Ferris State.
30
Karaka in a really advantageous spot here. See if he can get this guy in Reno. That's huge. Can he get the guy coming from patio?
Yes,
huge.
he can.
Big kills from Karaka. What a leader.
Can he get this 1 kill coming in right now?
Down to
Yes,
the
he
last
can.
1 kills.
That's a
This
big
is
kill.
huge.
One more towards the alley. Oh my God, Karaka.
I do feel like I've gained a lot from being part of the esports team at Ferris. I definitely wish I would have known earlier about the program. I came in last fall after I saw an email sent out, and it's definitely something that I would recommend anybody who's interested in playing even competitively or even casually, just to make some new friends and have a good time.
Oh, he's going for the
Oh,
assassination.
no,
He does it to him. Oh, Karaka.
Coming from a background where I've played competitively for orgs and other things like that for about 10 years now, it's definitely been supplemented it, and I feel like a lot of the people that haven't done that definitely have a lot to learn from Ferris Esports. Even if you don't plan on pursuing something in the future, it's definitely an experience that I think if you play games and are interested in competitively at all, it's something you definitely should look into. My favorite moment from this past year here was probably our game versus Davenport. We ended up losing, and we still took it down between 2 rounds, and it was just a good showing how when we play together, good things can happen.
I mean, I believe. I'm a Karaka believer.
Karaka is gonna read this. He sees him. He sees him. You're just playing ring around Rosie right now. Hey, Karaka with a 1v4! Oh my God, Karaka! Oh my God!
What's your favorite memory from being in the Ferris Esports?
I can't say it on the interview.
My wins on the game, on the map. Let's go.
Oh, no, Caracas, no.
There's a spot for everybody in every type of game. Speaking from my experience for Call of Duty, we have the more competitive A team who goes out to try to win every day, and then we have the academy team who definitely just comes out to have fun and be part of the team. So there's definitely a place for everybody, and just take a look. There's always something for you.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. First day, first year, you're diving in, head first. Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Want to build something? Great. Learn to melt metal with fire. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Care for eyes? Do it all here. And here too, side by side with the pros. But you've got to go forward fast. Why? No time to explain. Okay, fine. We'll explain. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. See this guy? That's Woodbridge Ferris. He founded this place with purpose to help everyone move forward. Big Rapids? No, bigger. How about the whole state, the country, the world? Forward, not backwards, not sideways, forward. So get moving. Move your ideas, move others' minds too. This is your future, your opportunity. So take it and move all of us forward.
Hey Bulldogs, it's Move-In 2020. Let's see how the students are getting settled in.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. First day, first year, you're diving in, head first. Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Want to build something? Great. Learn to melt metal with fire. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Care for eyes? Do it all here. And here too. Side by side with the pros. But you've got to go forward fast. Why? No time to explain. Okay, fine. We'll explain. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. See this guy? That's Woodbridge Ferris. He founded this place with purpose to help everyone move forward. Big Rapids? No, bigger. How about the whole state, the country, the world? Forward, not backwards, not sideways, forward. So get moving. Move your ideas, move others' minds too. This is your future, your opportunity. So take it and move all of us forward.
Okay, so a little strange of a situation going on here. Welcome back, everybody. It has been at least 2 minutes. We have to apologize. We are doing a little bit of an encore here. We assumed we had a best of one, which we did, but we had a best of one against 2 teams. So we are going to be streaming another game live right now. So we are back to stream that game right now. And again, I am your caster, Sizzling Pizza, and I am joined here today.
I am your other co-host, Questionable. We heard your cries. We heard you say, one game wasn't enough. You wanted another one. So we're back for round 2 against NMT this time.
We saw the chat,
all
the spam. Everybody said, please don't go. We need you in our life. And we heard you guys. We are here. So we are playing again against New Mexico Tech. So, it actually is just, it's like waking up on Christmas and you thought you opened all your gifts, but then your parents point to the corner and be like, I think there's another one back there. And you see, and you look and there's another gift.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what this is.
It's second Christmas.
So. Yep. Second Christmas.
That's all you can have. It's the best day ever.
Yep. Can't ask for more than that. So we are back. We are going to be casting a second game going on right now.
We're going to be going into this game completely blind. Like, almost no one was ready for this. So hopefully Ferris didn't, use all their, brain power on game 1. Otherwise, this may not be as good of a game. But, I believe in the boys. They can pull something out, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're actually saving the hidden tech for this game. If you thought the picks out of last game were good, you haven't seen anything yet.
Right.
Bar top, at least 50% chance.
That was that was just a warm up, honestly. And he's right. There's a 50% chance either they pick it or they don't. That's how it works, of course, right?
That is how that works. I think that math checks out. Can I? Yep, that math does check out.
All right.
So,
all right. Yeah. Do not question us. We are right on this.
And he wouldn't be called questionable for nothing.
Exactly. I do a lot of questionable things, but I don't have questionable math. I'll tell you what.
Yep. Whenever I come to him for my my bar top tech, I always say, tell me what to do, and he's always right.
That's how it works.
Yep. So we are just getting set up. I don't know how close we are to getting into champ select, getting into game, but I mean, I'm still excited. Honestly, maybe we get to see a 2-0 tonight, which would be crazy. Because if you think about it, it's technically still a first game.
That's true. A 2-0 is effectively just 2 1-0s, right? Like once you win the game, you can just wipe it off the board, right? Right.
Yeah. So they're a first game team. We win this first game, and we just 2-0 because it's the first game.
And and NMT, like, they clearly are just unprepared for this. Ferris coming off of a win, they got their spirits high. I mean, it's looking pretty grim for the other team. And
Yeah. I mean, obviously though, we do hope it to be a good game, and
right,
we'll be
obviously.
happy, obviously of whatever the outcome
Watching
is.
just a one-sided stomp is, isn't often all too enjoyable to see. I mean, it is. It can sometimes be enjoyable if it's your team, stomping the other team. But, the more action is always, better.
Yeah.
So
I think we're getting close to champ select, but we're not there yet. So,
looking at the
you know,
rank disparities between, on NMT's team is pretty, varied. You have as low as Silver 3 all the way up to Diamond 1. So, rather large rank gaps. I'm really, really interested to see how this is gonna pan out for NMT.
yeah. You know, uh, we'll, we'll have to see what Ferris does. I think they're definitely gonna need a few minutes here to mentally reset, prep, make sure everything's ready,
All right,
and
grab some
hopefully,
McDonald's. All
yeah,
that stuff.
go get some food from the Rock, whatever they need to do. But I believe they'll be able to, you know, get into this game, go strong, and hopefully pull out another win for Ferris tonight.
Honestly, they got this. All right, it's gonna be whichever team wins. We're just gonna say it was the easy win because that's what you're supposed to do when you play this game. Every game is easy win, no matter how hard it is. All right, if you have a 2-hour long game, doesn't matter, easy win.
Some people say well played GG in the chat. Some people say well played easy in the chat.
Some people say GG easy, better jungle wins.
Yeah. But Lem has a million fans. I am one of them.
Right.
So hopefully maybe we'll see something spicy. Maybe the Kazakhs will get banned this time. They left that open last time, and that he kind of in the mid game there started to clean up the entire game.
Right. He got the first blood, and it was kind of a wrap from then on. He was just not having a good day. He wanted to take out all of his frustration against the other team. Hopefully, he didn't take out all of his frustration. He still has a little bit left over.
Hey, maybe you can go.
Got some spare frustration in the back.
Yeah. Maybe you go find some frustration in him. Supply some frustration to him. Call his Kazakhs not the greatest in the world. I think that would work. But it looks like we are going to be getting into champ select here.
All right, you do have the pro draft already set up. Just waiting for both team captains to just select ready so we can start this draft and get things underway.
I wonder what the bands New Mexico Tech are going to be coming out with here. I don't know if they'll be able to get to see the last game, the last scores. So,
right, I doubt it since it was a custom, so it's not going to appear on OPGG. And I mean, unless they were sniping us mid-game, I doubt it. So, aside from typical Kled ban, can't say I expect all too much from NMT's bans. And it looks like we are underway. We are starting off, and we see Ferris banning out Gangplank first.
I would have to guess that the D1 player is a Gangplank player. I do not know though.
And typical, we see the Kled ban, and here on out, I have no clue what they're gonna do. We see Sivir ban. Okay, not a whole lot of people play Sivir, so I mean, like, if you see them play,
Sivir has been meta for the past 2 patches now, I believe. It did get buffed relatively recently, and has been pretty much a powerhouse in the bot lane.
It's nice to see her up. She doesn't get a whole lot of time in spotlight. And we see NMT banning out a Mumu and Veigar, so they're banning out the bot lane, and Ferris responds with a Victor ban.
Yeah, it seems they did at least get to see the Amumu. They did recognize that would have been insta-locked pretty much from Ferris, so definitely a good call to ban that out. And the Veigar is another good ban here, but I believe Ferris is a backup plan in the bot lane.
Right,
We do see the
definitely. We
misfortune
see
pick.
do see Cheese's classic MF come out. If it's not Vagar, typically it's going to be either Ash or MF. So MF comes out. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Really strong pick is one of his favorites. How he got to Diamond. So classic. We can't wonder how NFT is going to respond to this. Maybe say I don't know Jen or Kaiser. Just typical safe picks into MF. Or hopefully we get something exciting like I don't know Twitch or something. That'd be awesome. Tristana, the A very high action playmaking ADC, so I don't mind this pick at all. But if you're
I'm
gonna pick
definitely
Tristana,
gonna
you
make.
definitely do need a more aggressive, like engaged support. Those pair with her the best. You don't really want someone who just sit back and just watches and just like hopes to scale.
Tristana does have good scaling right now, though.
She
She actually
does.
does build what is, in my mind, the best ADC build in the meta right now, which is Kraken Slayer, Phantom Dancer, and Infinity Edge in that order. And I think all champions who build those three items at the start are right now the strongest in the meta. I believe Sivir builds it right now. Misfortune obviously doesn't, but she does have that lethality build. But I do like to think of that as the holy build. So if you can build that in an ADC, it is very strong right now.
All right. And to pair with the Tristana, they do get the Rakan, as I was talking about, an aggressive playmaking support with really reliable engage, especially after he hits 6. And Ferris responds with the Alistar and the round 2 Kha'Zix. This time I do see Kha'Zix being a bit better. The two champions that we've seen so far are both really high mobility, really fast, and can be a little bit difficult to get. But, I mean, if you get one shot, who cares at the end of the day?
Yeah, really, once Kha'Zix gets that level 11 power spike, upgrades those void spikes on his W. The 90% slow is going to be massive with chasing down these bot laners.
Right. Chasing down the bot laners, maybe chasing down the Udyr that NMT just locked in. Maybe not so much. Udyr, really strong champion, can be really hard to heal, really hard to kill. He heals a lot, is really tanky, and he does a pretty solid amount of damage. Not to mention he does have really easy CC in his kit to proc. And NMT decides to also ban the Mordekaiser. Ferris
I
hovering.
think you're going to see another 4 top ban. I think it's going to happen again.
Shaping up to be it. I mean,
Saturn right here.
Theoretically, that could be an Udyr top, and Ferris could be wasting their bans right now.
Could be.
Wondering how NRT responds. Wouldn't be surprised this is another Aatrox ban. Or maybe Cody still has all of his picks up. They didn't ban any mid laners. Well, they didn't ban any Cody's mid laners, I should say. We do see Swain ban. I'm not sure either of our solo laners actively play Swain, but
still a strong champion in the meta. Still
right,
not a bad
overall,
ban if you don't know what to do.
So a Swain is a Swain, I guess. And we're going to see what NMT picks here. More than likely, I would guess that they pick their mid laner here and then save top for a counter pick. But granted, their Diamond 1 player is mid lane, so if they wanted to give their best player their best lane possible, wouldn't surprise me either. We do see the mid lane Ahri coming out. Interested to see how Ferris responds to this. From my understanding, with the champs that Ferris has already picked, I'm not sure that Rewa's champ pool is really fitting to properly deal with the Ahri with the composition that Ferris has already chosen. They're going to lock in the Vex again. Not the worst pick in the world.
NMT does look to have a very strong comp again. And the worry I have is Ferris right now doesn't have much tank shred, especially to deal with the Udyr. So either they're going to have to shut that jungler down, or they're going to need to get a very strong misfortune.
Right. Ferris hovering Aatrox right now, looking like that could be the last pick. Yeah, okay. We do see Aatrox coming in. So Aatrox, Kha'Zix, Vex, and MF Alistar on Ferris' side. Rather stereotypical team comp from them. Solid frontline, midline, and backline, AP, AD. You just overall, nothing too crazy. Whereas NMT, they decide to lock in Ornn in the top lane to counter the Aatrox. Not sure that Ornn does too well on the Aatrox. I mean, he could just survive with his tankiness, but he's definitely not winning the lane unless he's just significantly better, which I wouldn't count on.
Very, worried right now about the lack of tank shred on Ferris' side.
Right. Killing this Udyr and Ornn is going to be very, very difficult. And Rakan, all it takes is just Rakan to get one really solid RW. That could be a wrap right there, honestly.
We just Ferris is going to need to find a way to get an advantage early in this game. We don't know what their decision is going to be to try to do that, where they're going to pressure, but wherever they do decide to go, expect a lot of fireworks, a lot of flashes forward, trying to be as aggressive as possible, trying to get an early kill. Early takedowns is definitely going to be the priority on Ferris' side.
Right. Ferris definitely has like a 2 or 3 second window to kill the Tristan and Ari. If they fail that in that time frame, I mean, they're fighting an uphill battle from then on, honestly, because Ornn is going to be practically immortal past 15 minutes so long as he's not like super far behind. He's just doing a good job of CSing and just staying alive against the Aatrox. And then Udyr, he's just going to be running around doing Udyr things, just smacking people around, stunning them, and just walking it out. Yeah.
I would have to assume that right now it's going to be an Eclipse Aatrox, so that build does do a lot of damage. Maybe Aatrox can get strong enough where he can just, run down the entire enemy team. All he has to do is press R on a champion on NMT's side that doesn't have a dash right now, like dash up, like say Ari ult is down, Aatrox goes in on the Ari and there's nothing the Ari can do about it, and maybe he can just solo carry a team fight. But we'll have to see what Ferris decides to do with this early game. I decided to play these fights, and that'll definitely be the deciding factors.
Yeah, I honestly, by sheer team composition alone, I can't tell you what team has an advantage right now. I mean, they're both really like solid team I would say that NMT has a better line than Ferris does currently, but like Ferris does have better damage. And looking at last game, we see how well Ferris does with a all-in damage comp. So
I'd say, in my mind, without a doubt, NMT has a stronger comp right now. I think it definitely looks like the kind of comp you would expect to see in a pro game. Maybe not the Tristana, obviously, but
swap out
besides
Tristana for say Kaisa or something like that, and
these are all very strong picks. The engage on NMT side is absolutely ridiculous. Zaya, Rakan's ult and W, 2 forms of CC, and there's like no one's gonna be able to stop that. Ornn ulting into the fight, Udyr running down the entire team, and Ari being able to dash in there and Everfrost is going to be ridiculous. So
something that should be mentioned is 4 people on NMT side do have dashes, so Vex's auto attacks are gonna be pretty massive once they start getting stacked up. And Ferris does have a lot of really good AoE CC with the Alistar, the Vex Sphere, and the Aatrox Qs.
Yeah, hopefully we can maybe see another game of Reiwa getting very strong on the Vex. He did pretty well last game, and then he scaled, and Vex scaling and having a lead in lane makes it pretty much impossible to do anything about that lane. Obviously they tried, they did gank the Vex a large amount of times in the mid game, but it wasn't able to shut it down. That Vex did get the scaling, did get the items, and as we saw in those late game team fights, there was nothing that they could do about it. They could do to stop the Vex.
Right. This game, as opposed to the last one, this I wouldn't feel too confident saying whichever team is ahead by 15, 20 minutes is probably the team that's going to win, because both of these teams do have pretty reliable ways that so long as they're not like 10k gold behind, they can definitely come back.
Yeah. Ferris does have a lot of comfort picks, which is good for us. In games like these, it's not one mistake can make the entire game. It's more of who makes the least amount of mistakes, leading up to whoever wins the game. So maybe Ferris being comfortable on these champions will help them in this early to mid game, and making better decisions and knowing their damage, knowing their limits, and going in on these fights.
Right, definitely. In other news, make sure you're at the meeting for esports tomorrow. We are hosting eBoard elections in Bond Hall tomorrow at 11 a.m. Check out the Ferris Discord to find out where we're going to be. Follow us on Twitter. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a decent chance that we might update, post who gets elected and who's running. Make sure you vote for who you want to win. And also, I highly encourage you to run for eBoard. I am as tomorrow is going to be a former treasurer of the club. Definitely something that does look good on a resume. So if you're interested, show up, put your name out there, and don't be afraid. Like, even if you're like not a well-known person in the club, we're always still looking to just meet new people and just learn what kind of person you are.
Jalen, if I could vote for you again, I would.
Yeah.
Just let that be known.
Thanks, Peace. That means a lot to me. I'll keep that in mind. If talks to John O and I get a vote and it says that I got a vote, I'll know who it's from.
Yep. In spirit.
Thank you. I'll vote for you too for something.
Most enjoyable person to play video games with. I think that should be a title.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Yep. That sounds good to me. Most enjoyable person to play video games. That is the eBoard position too. I'm talking to the former president to make that a position. He's being very resilient on that.
We'll keep in touch about it.
Yeah. We'll keep you updated.
Just like with Bartop,
Yeah.
Gotta keep that. Maybe in the DMs though. But yeah, we are waiting right now to get in the game. We are going to be waiting for the spectator delay.
Looks like spectator delay is over. Looks like we're into the loading screen. Game's going to be starting any second now. Can't wait to see how this is going to turn out.
I am excited to watch this game.
Ferris with the Skinner coming out. I see this.
I really hope Ferris plays this game well and takes home another W. I believe in them as a team. They showed really good promise in that first game. They played very well.
Ornn with the only cloth armor start. This is something that's like really old. I didn't know Ornn still do this, where they only start a component for an item, don't even get pots, and then they just like go straight into it. So they get like cloth armor.
I don't mean to cut you off here.
Oh, sorry.
It does seem like Cheese needs to recall right now. I think maybe just figured it out.
I can't tell if he's recalling. It looks like
I can't tell if he's recalling.
Okay, he is.
Nope. Okay, he did. He did get it. We are good.
Yeah, it looks like Udyr also had to go back. He didn't have his jungle item, which honestly would have been even more disastrous than Cheese not having any of his items, because Udyr wouldn't have hit level 2 from killing his blue buff.
I think both teams just made like a silent, deal. We'll just have 2 members, or 1 member on each team just forget to buy items. I think that's just a good way to make, the game fair and fun for everyone. Ensures, no invades. Very good all around, I think. Really well played for both teams.
A very confusing word on Ferris' side. They worded the Dragon Pit. Not sure what the goal there was. Even if they saw someone over there, it's not like they were gonna like do anything about it, honestly. So, not exactly the best word. Not like Udyr's gonna be hopping that wall or anything.
Yeah,
you do see the grass Udyr. That's not something that junglers take very often, because it's pretty hard to proc when you're not, fighting champions,
That is a little interesting. I think that is the only weird thing we see though this game, fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, because honestly, I'm really excited to see this grass Udyr, if I can be honest.
Can't wait to see how this works out. See a bit of trading going on in mid lane. All right, it looks like this game's going to be going on, starting off a lot slower than the last game, which not the worst thing in the world. But hopefully,
yeah, no level 1 to Moo Qs, no invade through the top side.
All right, we see bot lane hitting level 2. MF is still level 1 though. Could see something going in early. We see Rakan hits his W. They're not going to press it too hard. They decide to go on the Alistar as opposed to the MF though. Not entirely sure how much I recommend that, but I mean, end of the day. And Ornn is getting ganked And Kha'Zix gets the first blood yet again. Kha'Zix getting an early lead. Ornn is going to go down. Didn't blow any summoners though, so he does get the summoner advantage over his laner. And Jones hits. Oh, he messes up his W. Such a sad mistake.
Good
it happens. Though.
idea. A good idea, for sure.
Good flash Q, and he attempted, but you know, once you mess up the W,
was not there, unfortunately.
Khan can easily just E away. No need for him to blow his flash or have Tristana use her heal or anything of that sort.
Alistar does have Hex Flash. It's not too large of a deal, you know. Ferris is still doing decent catching all this CS. They are up 1 right now, and now they're even. But it's not that big of a deal, honestly.
We do see both junglers in the top side. Looks like Kha'Zix is the one fighting out the crab. He gets the crab. Udyr sees that the crab is gone. They know where Kha'Zix is now. Ahri's just going to walk away.
Ahri is overextended. Bot lane's going to be running straight towards her. Ahri might have a flash over a wall here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And no flash from Alistar. If Alistar had flash right there, honestly, you know, wouldn't be surprised if like Alistar flashed the wall, Vex flashed the wall, and they kill Ahri right there. But it doesn't work out. Rakan comes in out of nowhere, gets the combo on the Tristana. She's out of there though. Uh-oh, Jones might be dead. The
Ignite's being burned on both sides.
Ooh. Tristana does still have heal though. Did manage to save it. I was gonna say wouldn't be surprised if Cheese saved like flash Qs or something like that, but could be a catastrophic mistake if he were to go for that. Rakan is still looking like he wants some action now, and we see some more action going on in the top lane. Thompson is just not being this guy's friend.
What I wanted to see out of Ferris is getting that top laner ahead, getting that Aatrox able to 1v9 carry, but he is building Gore Drinker. He is not building Eclipse.
Right, and in response to that, we do see the Brambleback coming out of Ornn really early on. So I mean, he's just going to be cutting. He's already cutting down that healing and giving back some of the damage that he's taking. Looks like Cody wanted to do an early reset, but I guess the Ahri started pushing the wave a little too hard, so now he doesn't get that luxury. Cody goes all in, no ignite necessary, just flash and goes in. Will Udyr get the kill? No need. The Ahri ignite kills, goes down 1 for 1. Udyr's going to shove this wave, and he's going to be missing a few minions of XP, but he's still equal in CS with the Ahri. Both mid laners decide to pick up a lost chapter, fix their mana issues. And
that was still crazy. I mean, I just want everyone to remember there is a pretty significant rank difference in these mid laners, and for Raywa to be flashing in there.
Or
I believe.
Yeah, Cody did. Well, Raywa did peak in Diamond 4, so I mean it is effectively a Diamond 4 versus a Diamond 1. But the skill differential between a Diamond 4 and a Diamond 1 is rather noticeable, though.
Yeah, still currently a big difference, but still a very bold move, and it paid off. Getting the dragon early for Ferris.
Kha'Zix sneaking the dragon under NMT's noses. They didn't suspect a thing.
They definitely were going for the trade there. Taking that top kill and giving up the dragon.
Looks like Thompson isn't going to miss a whole lot of minions, though. He does get there in a timely manner, only misses a couple minions. He's still up CS, and I was about to say a kill. I forgot Kha'Zix got the kill early on in the game. And are we going to see a recall from Ferris' side in the bot lane? Perhaps. It looks like just Alistar is going to be heading back. Going to be letting MF get some solo XP. Not sure if you want to be doing that right now. She does have the flash, but I mean, against such a high mobility bot lane, I mean, could just be like an early blown flash. But NFT is playing it safe. They think Alistar's in the bush, and Rakan doesn't have a word for it. This is the really big 400, big brain IQ play right now. And Vex is just bullying this Ahri right now. He's up.
So much damage coming out.
He goes all in. Ahri has to ult away. Almost gets the solo kill. Kha'Zix attempts to flash. The W almost kills, leaves her 1 HP. Such a sad sight to see.
Just barely too little damage.
And he's caught out by Udyr, down level 6 versus level 5. He smites the crab, but it looks like it helps Udyr, if anything. Such a sad sight to see. and that just tied up the game. Well, tied up the goal difference between the two teams this game.
Yeah,
Still,
definitely a lot closer of a game so far.
right, you know, a lot closer, but not necessarily a whole lot less action. I mean, you know, yeah, as opposed to, it's only like, you know, 2 fights per minute as opposed to, say, the 5 we were getting last game. Alistar is caught out in the jungle. He does have flash up if necessary. It looks like he might just walk it out. Oh, MF is 6 though, calls out. Tristana hops the wall, and then Rakan follows after. Ari's going to follow up. Looks like they're just going to back off and just say, hey, we got what we came here for, I guess.
Yeah, not able to secure those kills quite yet, especially with the Tristana dash. They're going to need much more than that to be able to, much more damage than that to be able to one-shot this Tristana.
Right. Only thing that was blown was the MF all, but you know, you still do kind of want that in your sights. Ornn all ins after the Aatrox flashes, and Udyr decides he doesn't want the action. Kha'Zix is here, and he wants revenge. He's got level 6, he's got his ultimate, he's got, I believe that's his Q leveled up. It looks like he has evolved Q.
Does have evolved Q.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see Kha'Zix wear this skin too much, so I'm not too familiar with what his abilities look like when they're evolved in this skin.
He is getting a lot of poke damage out in this bot lane. He's been doing that all game, getting these Qs to connect off, to bounce off the minions and deal increased damage to the champions. He's been doing very well getting those to land.
Yeah, he's also been blowing a lot of mana in this laning phase, trying to, you know, get this to work, you know, get his arcane comment to go off. But, you know, the prices you need to pay, he's still stacking tier in the meantime, so it's not like it's exactly the worst thing in the world. Cheese is looking for something. Looks like Jones wasn't in position to follow up. Kha'Zix is in the mid lane. Ari's going to dash out. Blows for second R. Rewa follows up. He's under tower. Will Udyr get the stun off? Oh, he's speared, and Rewa gets out of there. 1-for-0 trade. Ari doesn't get to blow any of her sums to get out of there, but she does blow 2 targets of her ult. Very well played by Ferris' side right there.
Very well played. Very good gank. I like the idea of trying to shut down this mid laner. Obviously, being such a much higher rank than the rest of the players.
Looks like Aatrox is going all in. Not sure how well this is going to work out. Ornn is just, you know, faker at dodging ability. Honestly, he gets out, takes Aatrox all, and doesn't lose anything for it. Doesn't even have to blow his flash.
And it looks like, apologies for that.
Yeah, a bit of technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Right,
it should be good though. We are back. I don't know what the angle was for that solo kill in top.
Bit of a confidence play. Looks like NMT is looking for an all-in. Cheese has to blow his flash. He gets out of there just fine. They do see where the Udyr is now. Kha'Zix is going for yet another gank in the mid lane. This one's not going to work out as well. And Dragon's going to be up any second now. Both junglers are bot side. We could potentially see, you know, a little scuffle over this fight. Ornn's TP is a couple of seconds away. Aatrox had just blown his TP right after attempting the solo kill. So NMT does have TP advantage. But it looks like Ferris just has raw numbers at the Dragon. And looks like everyone on Ferris has recently reset. So everyone did just spend their gold. Are they going to fight for this drag? It looks like they're just playing.
It looks like,
you know,
Ornn's going to be resetting and looking to TP to Dragon here.
Right, a lot of good wards to TP to if that were to play. So he's just going to walk back to lane for now.
In Ferris's
Did
best
Udyr
interest
just flash
not
into
even
4 people? Can't say I recommend that one, friend. But Rakan is doing his best to save this. He has to flash out. Doesn't exactly work out in his favor. Ari is going all in.
Still up.
Can't find the Kha'Zix. He's invisible, but he still goes down. It doesn't matter. MF gets the trade kill, and looks like Ferris is just going to clean this up at the end of the day. Ferris W. Ornn did TP. It looks like he TP to lane. Either TP to lane or Aatrox stopped the TP. I'm not entirely sure.
I have to say that was such an amazingly well played fight from Ferris. Lem living long enough for the bot lane to get there, forcing the Ari to commit for the kill.
Right. Are we going to see Alistar die? Or no? Okay. Yeah. So we did see
honestly,
the bot
that's
lane.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, you can go.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, you know, after we get this dragon, we do see the Kha'Zix has the Rook Road. We could see him run to the mid or bot lane, but looks like they're just going to pass on that. Just have Vex reset and MF go back to farming in the bot lane.
What I wanted to say was how well the Vex played that team fight as well. The positioning to hit multiple targets with those Qs was just absolutely massive.
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing in that fight, though, was Udyr misplayed that pretty noticeably. Not entirely sure why he flashed into 3 people. I mean, you know, Udyr does have CC, but he has single target CC. He can only hit 1 person at a time. Not, you know, the most highly recommended play. A smidge confused on that one. Udyr trying to stop this Herald
Ferris
charge.
did pick up another kill a second ago in the mid lane, though.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, Ari
now just
fell.
1 and 4.
They're Diamond 1 player, you know, the one person on NMT's side who you're like, hey, you know, we really need you to do what you got to do. Oh, it doesn't matter. Vex just out for blood. 5 and 1, and she spots out the bot lane. But Alistar is nowhere to be seen, and MF is not exactly the most reliable person you want following up on, you know, a Tristan or a Khan, so just decides to walk back to lane.
I'd like to think that was a zoning ult from the Vex, because I think that was super well played,
well,
actually.
I wouldn't say a zoning, I'd say more like a warning, you know, because it did hit.
Yeah, this Vex is just performing so well in this game right now.
Right, and are we going to see a 3-man dive on the top lane? Orin tries to, oh, he doesn't. He gets CC from the Alistar, doesn't matter, but Aatrox was taking tower that whole time. Ooh.
That is still fine for Ferris. They crashed the wave and still get the tower.
Correct. It is first tower blood too, and are we going to see another kill on the Yari? This looks like it's not going to be. The mid lane tower is super low. I can imagine that's the next objective, and a Rift Herald is about a minute and a half away from spawning up, so wouldn't be surprised if Ferris starts inching towards that now. MF decides to ult this wave, get NMT off of this tower. Doesn't want to lose her tower just yet. Not the worst idea.
Objective alive as well.
Right.
They have the bounties available, and definitely worth to keep that bounty available if she can hold it.
Rakan decides to go in.
Though. She has no summoners.
Gets out, you know, loses half her HP for, you know, not exactly worth to die for a control ward, I would say. And Alistar looking for something. He tries to Q, doesn't accomplish a whole lot with it. This tower might just fall. If NMT really wanted to, they could probably take this tower, but looks like they're going for kills instead. Rakan doing his best. I'm going to just say, Ari missing everything, but doesn't matter. You know, MF was already low enough as it is. And Jones, you can only be so tanky. Alistar's just bound to fall. Tristana dives under tower. She gets comboed. Jones, the playmaking, he pushes her out. The triple kill from Alistar. The highlight play. What was that?
Oh my god, that was so beautiful.
I will never doubt the Alistar again. I apologize. That is entirely my fault. And now we see the 4-0-4 Alistar. He builds the locket. Not sure why he would do that. Clearly, you need something like the Kraken Slayer after you just, you know, stomp the enemy team 3v1 like that.
Honestly, I think the match MVP just needs to go to that turret aggro right there. That turret played that fight absolutely beautifully. I don't think I've ever seen a turret play a fight that well. But that was, yeah, that was incredible. So well played, Alistar.
Didn't miss a single attack that turret. I'm telling you.
That just beautifully played. The health back with the passive, getting the aftershock to tank another full combo from the Ahri, just juking everything possible. It was just perfect.
A master class of a play right there. Oh, Kha'Zix has to blow pretty much everything to get out of there. Udyr does blow his own flash as well. Ooh, they spot out Ahri. Looks like Alistar is going to beat her away. So they're in a 4v3 right now. Can't exactly recommend this fight. Thompson was walking forward, but it looks like he's just going to fall back and just continue pressuring this bot tower. Rather uncontested right now. But it looks like Udyr could be coming to defend the tower alongside Rakan. Yeah, okay, looks like they're more focused on the dragon that's going to be spawning. And Kha'Zix is right behind it. Vex TP is almost up. Orin TP is a couple of seconds away from being up as well. So could see a double TP from the people in the top half of the map if they did want to contest this dragon. Kha'Zix does still have the Herald. If I were him, I would recommend, say, pushing at the mid wave out and then spawning the Herald, and then, you know, forcing NMT into an ultimatum and say, hey, you can, you know, keep this tower alive or you can keep this dragon alive. You know, you can't really get both. Looks like that's what they're going to do, but they didn't push the wave out. Not the best Herald, but, I mean, hey, it helps Kha'Zix get the dragon. Udyr is staying and helping dealing with this Herald. So it's going to be a free dragon.
Be absolutely fine. And that's going to be
overall work
over to Ferris.
Putting them at soul point with a Mount Soul is just good enough. And did Vex TP? It looks like Vex TP. Not entirely sure for what. It's not like any fights were breaking out. It could have just stayed in top lane, kept the Ornn in check. But I mean, hey, now somebody's gonna have to walk all the way back to the top lane and deal with that. It looks like it is gonna be the Vex. Ahri's caught out. Stop the Alistar combo. Aatrox is here. He's not having it. Ornn is TPing to try to protect the Ahri. She's dodging most things. She flashes.
Ahri live for long enough.
Ahri doesn't matter. She gets smited by the Kha'Zix and he's down. Alistar doing his best to protect the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix gets out of there, and so does the Alistar. It looks like Ferris gets out cleanly.
Was just beautiful. Again, Wing the Udyr away, and then flashing over the wall and just walking out of that situation, just de-escalating the entire fight instantly. This Alistar player right now is truly, just like you said, is a masterclass right now.
All of these people in the game, they're all playing League. This Alistar is playing chess, all right? You know, he's 5 steps ahead of them. Tristana looking for something aggressive, even though she's a level down right now, but she does take the MF exhaust. She didn't even have heal for that. That was extremely confident on her part, if I do say so myself. Especially not knowing where, you know, most people on Ferris' side was. That was a really confident play. I'll just say that much. Blows her flash, gets hit by the Vex ultimate, and it's GG at that point. Vex misses her R on the Rakan. Doesn't matter. You're 6-1. You can do whatever you want. You know, just decide, hey, tired of being 6-1. Don't like the number. Make myself 7-1.
Wow, what a start to this game from Ferris.
We're up almost 9k gold at 20 minutes. This is just utterly massive. Honestly, you know, a little bit surprised that they're not going for Herald right now. They do see the Ornn and they know that he doesn't have TP. The fact that they don't know where Udyr is doesn't matter. 2 people are dead. You have eyes on the other one. I wouldn't expect the 2v5 to stop them from getting the early Baron, but looks like that's not what they're exactly looking for right now.
It looks like things are going to be calming down here for a little bit. No drag up for the time being. Won't be up for a couple of minutes, so they are going to be hopefully slowing down here, trying to get CS in the lanes, trying to get an even stronger advantage, hopefully by the time the next objective comes up.
Yeah, definitely. It's looking like Ferris is trying to just play this game rather slowly until the dragon spawns and they can get their Mountain Soul. But it looks like NMT isn't having that. Lem just outrunning a Rakan while he's in his ultimate, dodging everything. They're wasting all their resources to try to get this guy, and it eventually works out, or does it? He still gets out of there, and now the cavalry has arrived. The Rakan dies for it. The Vex is going in. Oh, they do not care. They spent everything trying to get the Kha'Zix, and they didn't even get him. And they turn around, get the 3-0, and now they decide, hey, you know, no time like the present. They decide to just get the Baron now. I mean, who's going to stop them? The Udyr that they just saw in mid lane? Very unlikely, to say the least.
That is just so well played. The delaying from Lem there. Juked everything he needed to. Just outran a Rakan all. And just his team got there just in time. The Locket purchase, seemingly, for some reason, better than the Kraken Slayer, saving his life there.
Somehow, I mean, that's incredible. Like, who would have guessed that Locket actually does something better than Kraken Slayer, especially when you're 4-0. Like, I would have never guessed, honestly.
Unbelievable. No one would have expected this, but this is what we're saying. This support is pulling out some masterclass techniques that
he's
no one
20 steps ahead of everybody. Like, you can just not predict what this guy's going to do next.
Ferris is playing so dominantly right now. You know, what can New Mexico Tech do at this point?
Right, honestly,
I
Dragon
guess
is
they
about a
give
minute
the
away.
drag, play for Elder.
That's looking like their only goal.
Ari's
Ari's caught out,
there.
and they just lost their mid laner. Looks like MF is looking for something. Ornn with the cross map all doesn't accomplish realistically anything. And now Udyr's caught out. I mean,
Alistar tanking 15 tower shots here really doesn't
at that point, that just had to be BM. He was just sitting on the tower for fun. I mean,
Vex is just going in 1v2 under the tower.
Right. I mean, like, who cares about Dragon Soul at this point? Like, you know, you can, like, Ferris can just give up the Dragon, not care. They're going to take 2 inhibs from the look of things. Or, I mean, like, why not just give everything? You know, just send Kha'Zix to go get Dragon by himself, and then just get, you know, mid lane and bot lane inhib, and then start working towards that top lane tier 2 tower while you still have Baron, because that's still on everyone on Ferris' side right now. Or, okay, it looks like they're not. They're just gonna be happy with what they got and start doing some resets. It looks like maybe clear out the bot side jungle. Ahri is leading the charge into entirely unwarded territory. Can't exactly say I recommend this, especially when you're already 2-8. It's not like you're gonna be one-shotting anyone on Ferris' side right now. But
She
looks like it works out for the best.
Have the upgrade in Luden's Tempest right now. Slightly scarier with that Ornn upgrade. Ornn is going to start giving people 3,000 gold. So this is when New Mexico starts to scale. You know, the question is, can Ferris close out this game?
Right. Now, at this point, it really is just a matter of, like, you know, can New Mexico just survive? That's, you know, they just look in the top right of the scene, just say objective survive. That's all they really can hope for at this point. But I mean, you see a 3-item Vex, one of them being a death cap. You know, 3 items also from the Kha'Zix coming out. Like, this is just terrifying to see. And also, if you look at the map, just Ferris just has so many wards down on the map right now. Wish, you know, you do want to see a bit more wards in the top side of the map. That way, Aatrox is a bit more protected. But I mean, Aatrox is probably just 2v1 right now if you really felt like it. Vex scares Udyr so badly he blows his flash. Gets one shot by the Kha'Zix. We're going to see the same from Ahri.
Kha'Zix damage. He's not going to care. They're going to just kill everybody.
He doesn't care. Vex, does she take it? Fountain dives the Ahri. That could be game right there, honestly. I don't suspect that the Rakan and Ornn is going to save the game as it is.
The Vex getting the resets off on the ult. So much damage coming out.
So much. We do see the Alistar come out. They got it. They got one, boys. Looks like Alistar's not getting a perfect game. You hate to see it, but you know what you hate to see even more? Your team losing. Lucky for Ferris fans, that's not going to be this game. Ferris is going to end the day 2-0, you know, unless magically there is going to be a third game. But, you know, in between games, I think they did do a really thorough search. I don't think there's going to be a third game, hopefully. You know, I'm not going to be betting any money on that, though.
GG to New Mexico, though.
GG.
Seriously, but
they fought valiantly, but end of the day,
what
it just wasn't
dominant
enough.
Performance. I mean, I said I had high hopes for Ferris, but what a performance! What a start from them.
They really had the power of friendship on their side this game. It really showed.
I mean, I gotta be wondering, you know, who they're getting their coaching from. Like, I gotta get in on that action because I mean, there's got to be something going on there. Because that is just incredible. So well played.
I mean, you know, I'm just at a loss for words right now. That was just an insane performance. Ferris wins 29-8 in the same time frame as they had the last game. You know, 25.5 minutes, and you know, you see, look at the KDs on Ferris' side. You see Thompson with the worst at a 2 KD. I mean, that's pretty good sign. They're going down 9-2-10, 13-1-7, 2-1-7, and 4-1-13. Just all around, just absolutely insane. Just tons. And looking at these damage numbers, I mean, Aatrox, as we said, you know, he did like pretty much the worst on the team. He did more damage than NMT's most damaging player, which was surprisingly the 2-9 Ahri. I mean, she was like doing a lot of like poke damage. She just couldn't like finish off the kills during the game.
I mean, Ferris just played this game so well from the early game fights, and they just snowballed so hard. I mean, Jonesy seemed to have gone in the Matrix in the bot lane and got that tower dive and just got out unscathed. You know, he knew exactly what he was doing, and then Lemon the top lane juking absolutely everything. Just really
Absolutely.
just such a good
It looks like
performance
they
out of both
found the
players.
spare frustration that they were looking for earlier.
Yeah, you must have gone typed something to them that, you know, made them just way too angry because they just played so well this game.